Hello everybody, I'm JayLeonardJ, and today we are checking out TONEX 1. So the crazy kids at IK Multimedia came up with this really powerful app for your computer called TONEX. And what it's designed to do is it's designed to create profiles of your guitar rig. So say you have a great amplifier that just sounds wonderful. Well, plug that thing into your favorite cab, maybe throw a fuzz in front of it if you're feeling crazy, and put it in its sweet spot, like the where it sounds just absolutely dimed and perfect. What you can do is you can mic it up, send it to your computer, and TONEX will analyze the sound of your rig, and it will create a snapshot, a picture of that amplifier and that rig at its sweet spot on the computer for easy access no matter where you go. So you can just plug in your computer and it'll actually sound like you're going through your rig. You create a whole collection of different profiles. There's some that are built into the program, so you could use those. And there's also a bunch that have been uploaded from different TONEX users from around the world. So it's a very, very powerful piece of software. Well, what we have on the bench today is this thing called TONEX 1. And what this is about is it gets those presets that you created on the app and puts it on this little piece of equipment here that you could stick on your pedal board, stick in your pocket, go on the go, and get your sounds out there. So that way you could integrate all those TONEX profiles into your rig without having to plug into your computer. Really, really powerful stuff. There's a big version of it, and then there's the one which is much more simplified, much more pedal board friendly, and a lot of fun to use. And what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna hook this thing up, and I'm gonna show you 3 ways in which I would use this little TONEX 1 in my setup, and hopefully it'll help you figure out what you would do if you had one in yours. So let's plug it in, turn it on, and have ourselves some fun. Well, we're all wired up and ready to go. We're gonna start off using this thing as how most of you are gonna use it, and that is as a straight up loader for your favorite TONEX presets. So full rigs, throw this on the pedal board and you can get really, really deep sounds without an amplifier in sight. Really, really cool stuff. It works best when you're using it with the TONEX app. That's why it comes with TONEX SE. You plug in USB-C and it's easy as getting your favorite presets from TONEX and just dragging it into one of the available preset slots on the TONEX 1. That's it. And you have really quick access to 2 presets on the fly. You can see how the colors change. And let's go see what I got loaded on. I'm gonna start with this one. This one actually is based off of one of the built-in captures from TONEX, which is a Fender Deluxe. We have 3 different knobs available to us, bass, middle, and treble. And if I press this button and it starts blinking, we get the secondary functions. We have reverb, so we can make it more wet. We have compression to squeeze it a little bit more. We also have a gate if you want to make sure it doesn't get too noisy. One really handy thing about this is it works really, really well with other guitar pedals. Because it's based on a capture of a real amp, it has lots of dynamics. And then when you add a real pedal to it, it's almost like plugging a pedal into the real thing. There's a lot of different ways you could plug this thing in. Right now I'm going direct to the board, direct to the camera. You could also use a headphone out, or you can go USB-C and treat this thing almost as an audio interface. Really handy. Let's go to the next preset. Now for this one, this is a capture of an amplifier I actually have. So I got my Good Cell Super 17, and I actually used the software to capture it with a Catalan bred Epoch boost plugged into it. So I actually have two things going on here, an amplifier with a boost pedal. It's really, really handy, and it has a wonderful small amp sizzle to it too. And it has lots of dynamics, just like my real amp. If I play soft, it's clean. And when I dig in, it gets more ratty. I could even second function and add more gain to it. Another wonderful thing you can do with the TONEX one is actually use it to replace one of your Stompbox pedals. So say you have a really wonderful vintage fuzz pedal that you just don't trust taking out into the wilderness. Well, you could take a capture of that fuzz pedal, load it into here, and almost treat this as an actual fuzz pedal. And it actually reacts and pushes and pulls the way you'd want it to. To get into that Stompbox mode, all you have to do is just hold on to this thing over here for about 6 seconds, and you'll know you're ready to go when the color turns over here like this. And then you just move this gate knob all the way over here, and all of a sudden we are in pedal board mode. So if I turn this off here, that's actually my amp. This is going into a Tone King Imperial, and this is just the amp on its own. And what I did is I uploaded a capture of an old Fender Blender fuzz pedal. Really ferocious and really like harmonic and nasty. See how it reacts just like a normal Fender Bender would? When I turn down the knob, I get all those wonderful harmonics. When I turn it up, all of the loveliness. And all the knobs still do what they do in the other modes too, so I could change the EQ of it a little bit. And even add stuff like reverb. Gate it up, do all kinds of things. And if say I really like the sound, I could actually just hold on to this for a little bit. And then if it blinks, it actually locks the settings so I don't accidentally change my settings as I'm going. Locked in. Hold on to it a little bit longer again, and then I'm back into editing mode and I could just go back to editing. And one more thing it can do on your pedal board, if you're gonna use it as a Stompbox, or any mode for that matter, is that if you wanna get rid of the tuner on your pedal board, you can do that too, because if you actually hold onto the bypass button in any mode, it actually is a little tuner, you see? It actually goes back and forth. I can go sharp, I can go flat and use this thing as a straight up tuner. So much versatility in this tiny little box. So we've heard this thing direct to the board as an all-in-one rig solution. We've heard this thing with a real amplifier using kind of like a Stompbox roll. Now what we're gonna do is, say you're doing a gig, right? And you have that house amplifier and the preamp doesn't sound really good, right? But you wanna go through a real amp. What you can do is you could use actually the preamp from TONEX and then go into the effects loop of your amplifier and use the real speaker. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. So this is going into the effects loop of my amplifier, the effects return, and we're gonna use that same good cell amp capture that I did earlier. So the first thing we need to do is we gotta get rid of the cab simulation on that capture. So what I do is I just hold on to this button over here, same like what I did when I was going into Stompbox mode. I'm just gonna wait till it turns into that other color. Here we go. And then I'm just gonna turn this top knob till it changes color over here. You see how it changed color? That means it's deactivating the cabinet simulation, right? So now when I plug in, this is going direct into the power amp. We're gonna have a really beautiful sound. It's gonna be my good cell preamp into a different amplifier. And that is the TONEX 1. Well, that is it. That is the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to the page if you haven't done so already, and check out the links in the description below. If you want to hear my review on this, the TONEX 1, check it out on Patreon, because that's where I do all my reviews. All the other videos I make are right here for free on YouTube. My question for all the subscribers today is, would you go for the big unit TONEX, or would you go for the smaller TONEX 1? Which makes more sense in your application and use? Write it in the comments section below. That being said, I'll see you all soon. Take care and goodbye.